I am your favorite doctor, Dr. Faith Abraham, and welcome back. In this video, we're going to be talking about creating a winning money mindset. And I love to talk about these things because I know there are some of the things that I had to work through to go from only earning $9.25 an hour to having one of my companies valued at multi-millions of dollars. And one of the things that I hate seeing the light in my glasses. One of the things that I absolutely have to share and tell you is the fact that if you don't develop this mindset, you will not get to where you want to go. There's nothing different between you and the person who's achieved what you want to achieve. There's nothing different between you and the person who's on the Forbes cover, or the person who has tons of followers and like real followers, like people who actually engage with them and things like that. There's no difference between you and them. The only difference is they have taken action consistently. They have developed a mindset that allows them to win. They have done the work that you have not done. Or let me just say this, I might be stepping on your toes, but they have done the work that you refuse to do. Because what we do oftentimes is we look at somebody and we say what is often told to us, which is, it doesn't take all that. And then part of where that comes from, because this is like completely in opposition to a winning money mindset, right? So where that comes from is when people tell us, you're doing too much. It doesn't take all that. Like, you think you're better than everyone else. Oh, you're not that perfect. You're not so perfect. Oh, if it never happened for anyone before you, then why do you think it would happen for you? What makes you so special? So what we do is we internalize that dialogue, we internalize those digs, and we now see other people who really do the work. They go to therapy, they have a coach, they are in a community, they are really working towards personal development. They are really striving to be a better version of themselves than they ever have been before. And like, oh, they've changed. Oh, they're not the same. Oh, they're doing this and that. They think they're better. No, you've internalized criticism and you've allowed that to become your identity. So now you are projecting onto other people and saying, oh, it doesn't take all that. And then because people have told you, oh, you're doing too much. I count it a compliment when people tell me I'm doing too much. I count it all joy when people tell me I think I'm the stuff. I think I'm perfect. I think this, that, and the third. Because part of the reason why they're telling me that is not because I think that about myself. It's because they think that about me. So they're telling me that in hopes of bringing me down, in hopes of humbling me, when there's nothing that needs to be humbled. And if I do need to humble myself, guess what? I'm going to humble myself before the Lord. I don't have to humble myself before you. I'm going to humble myself before my creator. There's nothing that you need to do. If God thinks I need to be humbled, then he will give me a word and from, the outside sources. And then he will talk to me and say, yeah, daughter, you need to humble yourself. Pride comes before a fall. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to be like, yes, sir, you're absolutely right. And maybe even if I can't see it, or even if I don't feel like it came from a prideful place or what have you, I'm going to humble myself as much as I possibly can so that I do not go into pride. But no one needs someone in their corner telling them and trying to bring them down, trying to make them to stop doing things or stop trying to become or stop shining or stop. No, when people tell you you're doing too much, don't take that as a negative thing. Take that as a positive thing, that you're doing something right, that you are moving the mark, that you are moving the needle, that you are absolutely in the thick of it. You are doing what you need to do, because people don't talk about people who aren't doing anything. People don't recognize or acknowledge people who aren't accomplishing anything. People will always talk about somebody. People will always feel the need to humble somebody. And I say humble because humble is a real thing. I can't reiterate that enough. Humility is a real thing. However, there is also such a thing as false humility. As when people want to humble you because they see you or deem you and what you're doing and what you're accomplishing as a threat. Okay, right? And if you want to create not only money, if you want to create wealth, if you want to create, you want to break generational curses, you want to create freedom, time freedom, money freedom, you are absolutely going to have to be considered doing too much. You are going to absolutely consider having to have resilience, having to be okay with people not understanding the fact that you have to isolate yourself a little bit. You can't go to every event. You can't go to every party. You can't hang out with these people. You can't do those type of things all the time, because that interferes with clarity of mind. It interferes with clarity of focus. When you're trying to build something, it is very, very difficult to try and juggle a whole lot of different things. Go ask a clown, go ask the Joker. They will sit there, and as soon as they add, like you see them and they're juggling like 3 balls. Okay, all right, we're looking good. And then they add a ball or 2 or 3. And then you notice that they have to have more focus. You notice that they have to have more expertise. You notice that it's not their first time doing that. They've done that a lot of times. Why? Because the more stuff you have to juggle, the more you have to focus. And the more you have to focus, the more effort, time, energy that you have to expend. And here's the deal. If we really understand how life works, you don't have to necessarily work harder all the time, but you do need to work smarter. Having a winning money mindset is going to require you to be resilient. It's going to require you to not be so concerned or take on the different things that people say about you, the different things that people project on you. If you knew how often people project just so that they can cope, you wouldn't take everything personal. You would not be worried about what people have to say or what they don't say. You would not be worried about if they see you shining too much or what have you. And that's the biggest thing in literally resistance piece between you going and being everything that you are meant to be, having everything you are meant to have, and the current version of you. The biggest piece of resistance is other people's opinions. People literally, y'all, I coach a lot of awesome, awesome women. Number one, I do business coaching. For 15 years, I've done trauma, individual counseling, premarital counseling, marriage counseling, infidelity. Like, I've worked with a lot of different people in a lot of different situations, and I've met amazing people. Like, I've even worked with celebrities, professional athletes, like musicians, artists, and some of them very notable. And you would think that by the time they got to a certain level in life, they would not be dealing with some of the things that they deal with, like imposter syndrome, doubt and fear, shiny object syndrome, people's opinions. But the thing that stops so many people from going higher and being more is other people's opinions. And you would think, okay, you've made so much money and you've done won this award and that award, and you've sang on stages and you've performed in front of thousands of people, and you're still concerned about what your granddad and them said to you when you were a little kid. Like, that still weighs on you. And it's not even funny, because it's like something that can really ensnare somebody's soul. It ensnares somebody's heart and it prevents them from accelerating. It prevents them from moving forward. And you're just looking like, so what, at what point in life does this not affect you anymore? At what point in life are you just like, I don't care? Because that is the resistance between your current self, which carries all the stuff from the past, and the future version of you. What's here, right here in the middle, the resistance, most times, most often than not, is the opinions of other people and the anticipated opinions of other people. It used to be that the thing in the middle was socioeconomic status, maybe someone's race, the color of their skin, where they lived in the world, et cetera, et cetera. Those used to be like the biggest, and still opinions, but the biggest parts of resistance. Nowadays, with the advent of the internet, AI, content creation, like all the things, that resistance the gap has gotten smaller and smaller. You're talking about people pre C19 never touching $1 million. And now they're touching $1 million, multi-millions of dollars. People, their name is a household name. But millions of people, they're on millions of people's phones. Part of the reason why I created the Women's Success Circle is because I realized that in order for you to have a winning money mindset, your environment, the people you surround yourself with, is going to be uber duper super important. Your environment literally determines what you will create. Because if you are in an environment where people are constantly saying, oh, it doesn't take all that. Oh, well, if I just had this amount of money, I would be fine. Why is she asking for that? Why would she pay that much money for a bag? Why would she, I mean, all cars drive the same. Like if you're constantly in hearing that type of conversation, you will intentionally lower yourself and lower your expectations of life to fit that environment. But when you are in an environment like Women's Success Circle, where in that environment, we are celebrating each other, we're celebrating our wins, we're talking about how much money we made, we're talking about how this investment worked out for us, we're talking about how we were able to renegotiate our salaries, we're talking about just quitting and getting a brand new job. Like we are discussing those things, and you're in an environment where people are literally saying that they haven't earned less than $10,000 a month for the past umpteen years. You're talking about being around women who are saying that, yes, they are literally bringing in six figures in their career and their side hustle. Now their investments are paying off. Honey, what? Huh? We're talking about being in an environment where trusts and having deeds and purchasing land and purchasing like assets is a normal everyday occurrence. Well, what happens is when you're in that type of environment and you're constantly seeing these conversations, a couple things are going to happen. Either one, you're going to feel the emotion of jealousy, and you're going to allow that jealousy to kill whatever it is that is actually trying to communicate with you that is actually what you want out of life and that is what you deserve. Or you're going to look around and you're going to say, hold on, wait a minute, wait. If she can do it, I can do it. Like, her background was so similar to mine, or she looks just like me, or like whatever it is, right? Her education background is just like mine. Wait, what? You get in an environment like that, you have no other option but to begin, right? To Set your standard and set your thermostat to that. And that's why your environment is so stinking important. It's so stinking important. You got to be around winners. And that's part of your money mindset. So, number one, you got to get rid of the opinions of people, it mattering to you. Number two, you got to be in environments like Women's Success Circle is that girl. Like, you will be inspired to do more, to be more, to create more, because that's just what we do. And number three, for your winning money mindset is this: you have to be willing to take that L. Like, most people refuse to, we have so much ego, we have so much pride. And I said this at the top of the video, but ego is literally what's stopping people from progressing in life. There was a time when, and this would be an ego trip, right? When my husband and I got married, we didn't have a lot of money. So when I was working, even though my job wasn't paying me that much, and I had a degree and I still wasn't getting paid what I deserved to be paid, I was the one taking care of all the bills. That's a big L, especially to a lot of men. Big, big. A lot of men can't deal with their wives making more money than them, their wives paying all the bills. I never made him feel like he wasn't a man, though. Like, I never made him feel like less than, because I knew we were working towards something together. This was like a long time ago, but I was making more than he was. I was paying all the bills. I was the one getting things done in the house financially. That was a big L, especially for him. I'm the oldest of my family, and in other cultures, aside from outside of the US, especially African cultures, the oldest is the one that's supposed to be doing the best. The oldest is the one that everybody's supposed to go to for loans or for help or for money or to help take care of your parents. And at that time, I could not do none of the above. I could barely even take care of myself, let alone take care of and I'm the oldest of 5. And both of my parents are still alive, right? Like, I was not giving the example at the time. I had to eat that L. Like, I had to take that L. Like, I had to humble myself and be okay with, what was I doing? Like, it wasn't Uber. I forgot what it's called, but basically I was driving around and I was delivering people's groceries. I had to be okay with my husband. He was a bus driver. He was driving the bus. Great experience. Met a lot of great people, but it wasn't what our dream was. It wasn't what we knew and where we were going. Okay. So it was like, we had to take that L. But when you take that L, you have to realize that that L doesn't mean over. It just means limited time. The L stands for limited time only. The L is temporary. You have to be okay with taking that L, even though it's a temporary situation, it's a temporary circumstance, it's a temporary condition. Take that L until you can transform that L into a W. You get so many L's that you can actually build a W and you can win. You never quit. You never take one season of your life and think that that one season of your life is everything. No. You may not start out making money initially, but you got to be a millionaire on the inside before you become a millionaire on the outside. It literally starts on the inside, because whoever you are, as a man think in his heart, so he is. If you don't see yourself as a millionaire, then the outside of you can never produce that. But if you see yourself that way, then you're walking that way, you're talking that way, you're showing up that way, you're making decisions that way. So guess what has to happen? The things around you, your life has to begin to transform into what it is and how it is that you see yourself. Everything that we experience on the outside of us is literally a projection of what is going on the inside of us. I know everybody's like so big on this whole narcissist. My ex-boyfriend was a narcissist. My ex-husband was a narcissist. My ex-wife was a narcissist. My baby daddy's a narcissist. Like, everybody's so tripped up on my business partner was a narcissist and she was this and she was that and blah, blah, blah. But guess what? Guess what? The only way a narcissist can be around is if they have an enabler. I'm sorry to tell you, unfortunately, no one told you, but narcissists cannot stay around people who do not enable them. And guess what? You could enable them emotionally, financially, spiritually speaking, mentally. They have to have something to attach itself to. And so if people are always, if someone is always saying narcissist, 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 I can't even say it fast enough, narcissist, then my question is always, okay, what's going on inside of you that draws and attracts these narcissists? What is it about you that allows for those narcissists to show up and latch onto you and be in your life? Right? So why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because you have to understand that whatever's on the inside of you is going to attract, is going to draw in people, opportunities, relationships, all these things, whatever's happening on the inside of you. So if you want to have a winning money mindset, you're going to have to change what's going on the inside of you. Thank you. Big facts. You have to do it. And the easiest way to do that is what I gave you before. Number 2, your environment. Your environment. And your environment is going to help you to stop being swayed by the opinions of other people, especially the opinions of people whose life you don't even want to emulate. You don't even like their life. So why does what they have to say even matter? It doesn't. So creating a millionaire, money making, money generating, money positive, money drawing and attracting mindset is always going to start with you. So do the work, make it easier on yourself. Join me in Women's Success Circle. I would love to have you. I talk about it all the time because I'm just obsessed with it. We're going live September 18th, 19th, 20th. Okay. So if you don't want to miss it, then go to www.womensuccesscircle.com, womensuccesscircle.com, and you can get on the wait list so that you know exactly the times that we are going to be launching and having our gathering. And I have some great things in store for all my lovelies who will be joining me. So let me know in the comment section what you think about this and what part of, or what of the 3 that I gave you are going to be the most beneficial to you. And I will see you there in the comments, and I'll see you on the wait list of the Success Circle.